Dudes
represents a clear and present danger to the national security of the United States.
You have no idea what men are can do.
Hello, and welcome back to episode 12 of Clear and Present Dudes, the fast food, slick-ass Persian bazaar movie podcast, where tonight we are discussing 1992's A Few Good Men, directed by Rob Reiner, written by Aaron Sorkin, starring Tom Cruise, Demi Moore, Kevin Pollack, Kevin Bacon, Keifer Sutherland, Jack Nicholson, and some other people. Yeah, awesome. Right, cool. How are we doing, guys?
Living the dream. Feeling really crappy. I feel we're a real podcast now because we're doing an episode when I'm announcing, oh God, I'm so sick, but we're still going to keep doing it because you know, we're a serious podcast now. Yeah, I feel like crap, man. I've got like the death bug that's going around, that's killing everybody. I'm probably going to die in the next 7 hours, but you know, it is what it is, and I'm just standing on the wall and making sure nobody hurts Demi Moore. So,
yeah, I tell you what, I feel a little bit like I'm in Guantanamo Bay. The Guantanamo Bay depicted in A Few Good Men, because it is the 5th November. I live on the south side of Glasgow, and outside my window, all I hear is explosion after explosion after explosion all night long. Cool. It's a bit weird. We haven't got a Bear and the Dragon anymore. It's gone. It's done.
I'm missing it. I'm actually missing talking about like this bizarre, turbo horny, non-credible techno thriller with you guys. Definitely feel like feels like something's gone from my life. A light has been extinguished out there. We need to find another one.
Can you just do me a favour, mate? And just before we go into the actual movie, can you just say the words Japanese sausage one last time?
Japanese sausage, jade sausage, master sausage.
Amazing. Brilliant. Okay, cool. In the movie. Right. So, as I mentioned, we are discussing the almost definitive military courtroom drama given to us by Rob Reiner, written by Aaron Sorkin, adapting his own play that he wrote based on apparently a real Code Red incident. Apparently Aaron Sorkin's sister was a Navy lawyer, and she told him about the case. I don't know how professional that is. And he wrote a award-winning Broadway musical about it. Don't know how professional that is. Which was then turned into this movie. Tremendous success, $243 million worldwide. Obviously one of the definitive Jack Nicholson performances, even though he's only in it. Relatively small amount of runtime. A bit of a serious actor making performance for Tom Cruise, alongside like Born on the 4th of July and that. And also Demi Moore getting some proper acting chops in, having to work her way around that Aaron Sorkin dialogue, a man who I've described recently as the thinking man's Joss Whedon, not because of his sexual impropriety, which I don't believe there is any, but just that very fast-paced dialogue that he is famous for. So,
there's no impropriety.
What's your what's your experience of the movie? Had you seen it before we did it this week?
I saw it years ago. I think this was like literally one of those like watched with your dad in like the mid-90s kind of films. Up there with things like, you know, No Way Out, etc. I forgot how good this film is, man. This film goes hard. The writing is incredible. I've rarely been so excited by a film that's got so much non-stop banter in it. I think we've all taken shots at films that have been a bit kind of banter overload before, but unashamed to say that the dialogue in this film sparkles at some points, and it's just so witty, it's so sharp. It's like, welcome back banter. All is forgiven for now. Excellent.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into some of the banter scenes as we go through, and especially as we start talking about quotes from the movie, because this whole movie is eminently quotable. And I say that a lot, but this is as a guy who's going through a bit of a West Wing marathon at the minute, because, you know, hope and everything. It's just it's very much soaked in that world of fast-paced, witty dialogue where everyone is incredibly sparklingly witty and nobody says a duff line. Yeah, fantastic. Sanya, had you seen the movie before?
Yes, I think it was actually the third time I've watched it. I'm ruined though because I've done law school and the navies. I just enjoy it though. It's so dramatic. It's so over the top.
We're gonna have to come back to you for some legal opinions as we go through. I'm assuming that you did law school. I'm not sure you've been like a trial lawyer, but
No,
and I'm sure the German legal system is probably a little bit different from this version
a
of
tiny
the
bit.
American.
We don't even have military courts really. Like
Right.
we do, but they're civilian. So we don't get like people in uniform yelling at each other that they want the truth. Unfortunately, I feel like I would enjoy doing that to a good handful of people at the moment. But regretfully,
Do
it
you
is not
do you
to
still
be.
have like do you still have like a trial by combat when your assigned champions will go and chin each other in the town square?
It is common for your COs to just be randomly shipped off to Nuremberg and to never see them again.
I think Rory was going for a reference to the life and death of Colonel Blimp, maybe there.
yeah, but I was just going for the life and death of Colonel Blimp reference, but of the old trial by combat.
Yeah.
And
Oh, wonderful.
Honestly, I wish we had that. I would have. I was tempted to challenge my last CO to a duel repeatedly.
It'd be so fucking big. So.
I would be on board with that, but unfortunately, I think it would mostly count as assault and damage to government property.
So we've got a whole email inbox. If you want to egg Sanya on to challenge various members of his chain of command, do a duel, and us emails at
clearandpresentdudes@gmail.com. Excellent. And I suppose while we're in the plugging mood, thank you for everyone who's so far. Please subscribe if you can, if you haven't already. Like, drop comments, all that good stuff. Please. We've kind of plateaued with our listenership, which has hit a steady about 20. That's not quite true. We've got 23 on YouTube, 16 on Spotify. So that's, about 30-ish.
Although we are expanding the countries of our user base. Recently welcoming a listener from Uzbekistan, which I think is pretty cool. We're going worldwide. Have we collected all 5 boroughs of New York City, by the way, yet?
Well, I haven't. No, we haven't. We are still outstanding Manhattan and Staten Island.
Right. First we take Manhattan, and then we take Berlin.
Well,
Sanya, get on it.
Yeah. Brilliant.
I mean, we already have a platoon.
Yeah, we do.
And it's already
Absolutely.
International. So
Basically the Foreign Legion.
An international brigade of just the best people in the world who are interested in the weirdest podcast going. A strange, toxic, yet occasionally engaging and sometimes funny mix of defense, film nerdery, and absolute weapons-grade militarized autism.
So, let's talk about the movie then. A Few Good Men, 1992, is a story of a Navy lawyer, Lieutenant Daniel Caffey, played by Tom Cruise, who's known for quick plea bargains, and he gets assigned to defend 2 US Marines, Lance Corporal and a private, who have been accused of murdering a fellow Marine at Guantanamo Bay. Leaving us most of the story, Lieutenant Commander Joanne Galloway, played by Demi Moore, and Lieutenant Sam Weinberg, played by Kevin Pollack, join Caffey to uncover whether a clandestine disciplinary order called a Code Red, ordered from the top brass, has taken place and is responsible for the death. What ensues is a courtroom showdown with Base Commander Colonel Nathan Jessup, played by Jack Nicholson, exposing a clash between following orders and following conscience. Shall we watch the trailer?
Yeah, let's watch this trailer.
You ever served in an infantry unit, son?
No, sir.
Ever served in a forward area?
No, sir.
Ever put your life in another man's hands, ask him to put his life in yours?
No, sir.
We follow orders, son. We follow orders or people die. It's that simple. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Are we clear?
Crystal.
All those
those having business with this General Court Martial, stand forward and you shall be heard.
The facts of the case are these. On midnight of September 6th, the accused entered the barracks room with their platoon mate. They woke him up, tied his arms and legs with tape, forced a rag into his throat. A few minutes later, a chemical reaction caused his lungs to begin bleeding. He drowned in his own blood and was pronounced dead at 37 minutes past midnight.
You think Santiago was murdered?
Private Santiago is dead, and that is a tragedy. But he is dead because he had no code. He is dead because he had no honor. And God was watching.
How do you feel about that theory? Sounds good to me. I'll knock it all down to involuntary manslaughter.
No deal, we're going to court.
No, you're not.
Why not?
Because you'll lose. You want to investigate me? Roll the dice and take your chances. I eat breakfast 300 yards from 4,000 Cubans who are trained to kill me, so don't think for 1 second you can come down here, flash a badge, and make me nervous.
You men follow orders or people die.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth. Son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls have to be guarded by men with guns. Who's gonna do it? You?
That if this case is handled in the same fast food, slick-ass Persian bazaar manner with which you seem to handle everything else, then something's gonna get missed.
In the heart of the nation's capital, in a courthouse of the United States government, one man will stop at nothing to keep his honor, and one will stop at nothing to find the truth.
Yo, pretty good trailer. I'm gonna say it wasn't as good as the trailer as for Unstoppable, but
the trailer for Unstoppable was unreal.
Yeah.
I'm actually it's interesting to me just how much of the kind of climactic moments of the film this trailer just kind of gave away.
It's almost like I mean, this is back at a time where I suppose you could give the film watching public a bit of credit and go, if you this guy's, I mean, the movie starts with Tom Cruise desperate to avoid a courtroom.
Yeah,
we know he's going to wind up in a courtroom, like,
we do.
And you have to sell the movie with Jack Nicholson, and most of his scenes take place in the courtroom. So
that is true. I mean, otherwise you're going to have like scenes of Jack Nicholson in his BDUs just talking trash in his office, or scenes of Jack Nicholson smoking a cigar and getting waited on next to his cushy villa on the base.
Right, yeah. I'm looking forward to
300
talking
feet
about
away
this.
from those bad guys, man. 300 feet away from those 4,000 dudes in his villa with his manservant.
Yeah. Big big op shader, fucking staying in a hotel in Cyprus energy. Yeah.
It's big fucking Roman centurion energy. It's legate energy. It's like, it's just like it's a tale as old as time. Like, fucking 3,000 years ago, this thing probably happened with like some like legionaries killing some other dudes. Oh my god, who ordered the decimation of this one particular fucking squad? And then like, they go around and there's this like high ranking legionary going like, listen, son, surrounded by slaves and stuff, and like, listen, these Britons that are 50 leagues away from me with their pointed sticks. I'm riffing while Sanya does what I know he's doing, by the way. And we stand on this wall.
Legionaries can't handle the truth.
You want me on Hadrian's Wall. You need me on Hadrian's Wall.
Unreal. Amazing.
Listen, Consul.
It's like,
you need me on the lemurs.
Hey, we'd better put some camouflage jackets over you. Why? Oh, well, you know, the ancient Britons will see you fucking Lorica segmentata, and they'll think you're someone to throw spears at. Okay, get in the 2,000-year-old Humvee, and we'll bool along. It's like massive corrupt officer of an empire kind of vibes off him. All the while he's saying, I'm the most badass alley, tip of the spear bloke. It's like, you've got a fucking manservant, you're in the Caribbean, you know?
He wishes he was Colonel Kurtz. He
wishes he was Colonel Kurtz. He wishes he'd gone downriver and gone insane. You know, like, it's like, This film actually shines a light on just how kind of cush being posted like a nice place is, I think, because people seemingly will do anything to like underline how badass and tough it actually is. Like, oh my God, I'm up against these Cubans and they're pointing guns at us all the time. And there's all these never been fucking documented instances of Cubans straight up killing Americans, and got to keep those guns up, guys. And it's like, well, it's you make yourself look like it's really necessary that you're there and you're doing a bad, hard job, because the alternative is you get sent to Greenland or something like that. So it's like,
yeah. That's it. There's always like the super over-egged kind of security brief you'll get when you arrive in the theatre. And then it's like, right, now you've been through the security brief, which has like video footage of people lobbing firebombs at each other and a bloke whipping out a shotgun on the motorway and stuff. That's a genuine thing I watched once on arrival into Bahrain. And it's like, right, cool. Where do you want to go after this? You want to go to Scran Alley, then go to the pictures?
Scran Alley, I love it.
God, brilliant! Yeah, it's this one street in Bahrain, right next to the American base, which is just like full of like 5 guys and like 3 guys, which is a different local knockoff.
Oh, that's incredible!
Yeah, like my 3
that's
guys.
austerity. That's austerity in action.
Yeah, like
they should have gone for something like 5 wives or something. That would have been okay.
Wow.
No, I'm not doing the cultural sensitivity brief today. Thank you.
Brilliant. This movie, right, it starts with some very funky arms drill by the US Marines.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think of that with the music? I like that with the music and everything. Very fancy.
Cool. It was done by, I noticed credited, I actually took a picture of the screen. I noticed that in the credits, this incredibly alley arms drill, which was so friggin' cool, was performed by, this name is an absolute mouthful, the Association of Former Fish Drill Team Members of Cadets at Texas A&M University.
Brilliant.
Gig 'em, go Aggies.
Oh, nice. So we see that a little bit, and then the next thing we see is the crime in question, which is the code red being done on Private First Class William Santiago by his 2 oppos. It looks really brutal. They cut before it gets properly bad, but they see him like duct tape his mouth shut and shove the rag down his throat and all that kind of stuff. Pretty grim. And then it comes back to the drill team, and then we first clap eyes on Demi Moore as Lieutenant Commander Joanne Galloway of the JAG Corps, as she just kind of walks right through where they've been marching. Which is a little bit in where's she come from? She emerged from the tree line and is walking across a field.
That's how you summon her. That's how you summon.
You need drill circle to summon her.
Marching band, and then next to the tree line, a bit like M. Night Shyamalan's The Village in reverse.
Yeah.
We want to get her out of the tree line. And then, that's what is she? She's the senior counsel to the Bureau of Internal Affairs or something.
Yeah.
Cool. She's muttering to herself about how she wants to get a particular case. She's on her way to a meeting with a 4-ring captain, and she's kind of saying, she's like trying to rephrase a sentence to herself, and she's obviously really nervous. She's like, I believe it is I who should be assigned to this. I think that given the seriousness of this, it ought to be me that is the one that is assigned or gets the assignment to. And she like can't find a sentence to say.
Yeah.
And then she's but that's her little journey. And then we cut to our boy Lieutenant Daniel Caffey, Tom Cruise, and he's playing softball. And it's Tom Cruise doing a sport. What do you think of Tom Cruise doing a sport right away?
Getting some deja vu, because we talked about this the last episode as well. I don't fully believe him as a sportsman. I don't think any of us truly believe this man is a sportsman.
There's an element of not quite full kit wanker, but he's certainly got like top half up kit wanker. energy because he's got a little baseball cap on, Boston Red Sox.
Something that I noticed through this whole scene was just how at times he really reminded me of Schmidt from New Girl.
Yeah.
The dialogue in that whole sequence. Something about like the way he kind of carries himself as well. There are moments in this film when he has this like level of Schmittiness. This like kind of this points when the role could have been played by Max Greenfield for at least some of the film.
Man.
Can you imagine actually?
Great casting. What if? Imagine if that movie was made like 20 years later. Peak New Girl era, Max. Even now, actually.
Peak New Girl era. Yes.
Oh.
We could even have Zooey Deschanel in. Can you imagine?
Oh, no, that's ruined it.
No. Destroyed the whole thing.
Oh no, but no, Max Greenfield, that'd be awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
Then we cut back to Demi Moore, and she's in her meeting with the 4-ring captain Jag guy, and he's taken delivery of the case notes for the case, which is Lance Corporal Dawson and Private First Class Downey, U.S. Marines, who have been charged with the murder of Private First Class William Santiago. They've brought in Demi Moore into the office because she's a really good investigator, and she's caught the case, and she's really passionate about trying to sort out these code red things. But everyone's been very ginger about it because they're all scared of the absolute shitstorm it's going to bring up, because the commanding officer of the base down there is tipped to become the new director of operations for the National Security Advisor. So it's a political minefield. Then she finds out it's going to old little Dan Caffey, who we just saw, who with his carefree attitude and his desire to get a plea bargain and his absolute allergic reaction to attending a courtroom. Dan Caffey generally thinks he's the shit and he's been picked for this case because he's so good, and doesn't yet realise that he's actually just being picked for this case because he's proper rouge and would not dare take it to trial.
Yeah.
Cool. What do you think of our cast so far?
Sanya, hop in first.
Wading into really steaming hot water here. Just saying that I think I am generally not all that much of a Tom Cruise fan, but I think he really fits this one.
Yeah, that's a pretty common view these days, isn't it? Let's talk about
I
Tom
wonder
Cruise
how
for a
that
minute. Let's talk about Tom Cruise for a minute, okay? Yeah, let's do this. So
he is actually really good in this film.
Yes, yeah, right.
It's about a quarter way through the film, I thought this is a Tom Cruise all timer as far as performances go. Like the subtleties of even things like his facial expressions, his reactions, especially in the scene when, spoilers because it's a spoiler cast, when he just rage baits Jack Nicholson into admitting that he, ordered the code red. The look on his face, they kind of can't believe we got away with that kind of thing. The reactions, the facial expressions, it's really good. That performance of his, in my opinion, it's one of his best. Probably controversial, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Should we address the Tom Cruise of it all? So, I totally agree with you, Rory. I think he's really, really good in this role.
Yeah.
I will say now, opinions obviously vary about the guy. A lot of speculation about his personal life, and his conduct on set sometimes as well. We all remember during COVID when he had that massive blowout. I think it was the first Dead Reckoning they were filming at the time, and he had that whole big crash out, and it was recorded because people weren't masking up properly on set and stuff, and he was kicking off about it. Remember that?
No, I think I missed that crash out, actually. We could always drop a clip of it in.
Yeah. I'll find a clip for it and put it in.
We are the gold standard. You're back there in Hollywood making movies right now because of us. Because they believe in us and what we're doing. I'm on the phone with every studio at night. Insurance companies. Producers. And they're looking at us and using us to make their movies. We are creating thousands of jobs, you I don't ever want to see it again. Ever.
Obviously, 2005, the hopping on the sofa, yeah. The Katie Holmes stuff. Obviously, his kind of early foray into Scientology, which I think it was a Mimi Rogers thing. I have to double check this. I don't want to get in trouble, but I think Mimi Rogers is what got him into it. And then he nearly got out of it with Nicole Kidman, I think, and then he got kind of dragged back into it even deeper, like The Godfather Part 3 kind of thing. And then, and then since then he's kind of had a weird plateau. In his career at this point, though, he's doing some really good stuff. So, at this point in his career, Tom Cruise, having done like the kind of early like Cocktail, Days of Thunder kind of roles, where he's got like good people around him in supporting roles. People like Robert Duvall's in Days of Thunder has a relatively minor role, but he's like a good like mentor character. Top Gun, he's got Tom Skerritt there, seasoned older actor, kind of helping him along in a mentory role. Now we're getting to the point in his career, I think, where he's starting to go like toe to toe with like these giants, and he's got to act as much as they've got to act. He's kind of been a bit like not talking. Obviously, what he does is difficult, but he was kind of a pretty face in Top Gun for a lot of it. There's a couple of emotional scenes, but he's mainly a pretty face, right? At this point in his career now, he's done stuff like, I think, Born on the 4th of July is like 1994, I think. He's done this. The next year, he's got The Firm with Gene Hackman. Yeah, so he's coming against these like titans, and this is a really good example of that with Jack Nicholson. Like, incredible performance of Jack Nicholson, and yet, like Tom is like there with him, like holding his own, I think.
Totally. The scene when he's at the base at the I'm gonna keep calling it the villa because it looks like a villa. You know, when he's having his when he's being invited to be flexed at.
Colonel Nathan R. Jessup.
Colonel Nathan R. Jessup, yeah. So when Jack Nicholson basically invites him to flex off, and you know that he's like kind of there to flex on him because he's already halfway through a badass dit when he arrives. And they found a piece of white cloth and he surrendered to a CNN news team. And I was like, oh, there you are, the guy I'm going to try and humiliate. And yeah, in terms of acting, like, yeah, he matches him blow for blow. It's really good. Chop for chop, it's excellent. Nobody seems out of the league in that whole scene.
Yeah, this movie's quite. So people who I think who haven't had necessarily the credit for being great actors prior to this movie, I think really do step up and give their A game. I think there's a couple of people I think are maybe slightly weaker than others, and I think their careers have borne out in that way. Unfortunately, do still do good work in this movie. And I do believe them, but I think they do stick out a little bit. I think our two defendants. I think Wolfgang Bodison as Harold Dawson is maybe outmatched a little bit. Has a bit of a got a weird energy from him. Apart from the bit where he doesn't salute and puts his hands in his pockets, that's brilliant. He sells that. He sells that so well.
That was absolutely class. That was mint.
Yeah, he's really good at that.
Yeah, that was a nod to the real defense heads and the whole Marines can't put their hands in the pockets kind of thing that's constantly beamed upon, right?
Yeah, really good. James Marshall, as Private Loudon Downey, who people may know more for being James. He's called James Marshall in real life. James Hurley in Twin Peaks. I think he's somewhat out of his depth as an actor, unfortunately, in this movie. It helps though that his character is like very simple.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say thick as mince, but very simple.
Yeah,
he is not a smart man.
There's definitely a deleted scene where he's got like a packet of crayons for a snack.
He's skating close to like Simple Jack.
Everybody else though stepped up, I think. So Kevin Bacon, Jack Ross, really good performance, believable as this Marine with a heart of gold, still fierce litigator, very good. Keifer Sutherland as Kendrick, second lieutenant Jonathan Kendrick, by the way. So pretty junior officer.
Yeah,
absolute psychopath.
Yeah,
corn-fed psychopath. Like
unsettling performance. Performance.
Genuinely terrifying.
Sutherland there, and the Sutherland DNA is strong in that performance.
Yeah, if like you get the vibe from him that if he wasn't an officer in the U.S. Marine Corps, he would be making a use of himself in someone's police department.
Yeah, yeah.
Really bad.
Yeah,
Really bad.
he'd be very much a turn off the body cam and then do horrendous things kind of guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You see him take a set against Dan Caffey when Jessup spells a story out about how his father, I forgot his name, Lyle Caffey, I think his name is. His dad is. His dad was a litigator who went down to Alabama, and then won like a serious civil action about allowing like integration in schools.
Yeah.
That was it, and that's what sets Kiefer Sutherland off against him. He's like, oh, you come down to my Alabama and want to mix my schools. Well, I'm a horrible racist who loves the Bible. Big
come into my house, integrate my schools.
Yeah.
Won't be a racist. Yeah, it pretty much says the quiet part out loud, and he is just a horrible, nasty little Christian nationalist kind of guy. He's the kind of guy who would hopefully get flagged for like extremism in today's woke military. Hopefully. Probably not.
See JT Walsh as well. Brilliant JT Walsh as Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Markinson.
Yeah.
Matthew Andrew Markinson. So he's the one that was a contemporary of Jessup's and then gets outpaced. Is now serving as his XO at the at Gitmo. He's brilliant as well. I think he has he's got a very small role.
Yeah.
But holds it with like a real quiet dignity.
He does.
And you can see like when people talk about, we use words like honor and code. When you talk about the actual honor and the service values of what the US Marine Corps is probably meant to exemplify when it's not being perverted by the likes of Jessup.
Yeah. Like
JT Walsh's character is like what you expect it to be. Like these professional, competent, men and women, but who have these set of values and live by them. And the fact that he kills himself out of because he's dishonored himself by participating in the cover up. Speaks volumes. We've got Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah.
As a Corporal Carl Hammaker who's only in like one scene. And it's just like for a split second you're like, you probably should have been Dawson if we're being real. Like in terms of quality of actor. But then
the thing is you can guarantee there would have been a discussion at like the kind of producer level of, are we going to cast a man called Cuba to act in a major role in a film that's partially set in Cuba? And there would have been a literal discussion of, is this going to make our film look silly?
Well, they cast America Ferrera in Barbie, and a lot of that takes place in America.
Well, see, these are things we know now in the enlightened 21st century, man.
The main character is a Navy guy whose last name is Coffee.
Oh my God, yeah.
This whole thing is a cliche.
That's right, of course. He's homeboy's just swaggering around with a German word for coffee as his handle, so yeah.
Very good. Probably the weirdest one is Christopher Guest as Dr. Stone.
Yeah.
The doctor in charge in Gitmo.
Yeah.
From Spinal Tap and Waiting for Guffman and everything.
Incredible.
Obviously, Rob Reiner was like, "Have I got a role for you?
Oh,
is it funny?
crap.
I don't know. Is someone drowning in the blood in their own lungs funny? No." Like it's like, yeah, awesome. We took a little break there to talk about all the cast in great detail. We can skip that category now. Cool, right? Yeah, okay, so we'll skip ahead a little bit. So there's a little bit of umming and ahhing about who's going to take the case and what they're going to do. They go to Cuba to do a little bit of investigating.
Yeah.
And we see that Caffey, despite his best intents, he doesn't want to take the case. He doesn't want to. He just wants to brush it away like everybody else does. He's intimidated by Jessup, and he's not got the instincts to be a good investigator yet. And you see that when they go and like do a tour of his like, I want to say mess deck, his cabin, I guess, and they're looking like obviously the crime scene. They're looking at the crime scene, looking through stuff. We see some important stuff that comes back later in the movie. But you get a lot of verbal back and forth between Kathy and Galloway. Galloway's saying like, "Are you actually going to do any investigating while we're here? Or are you just going to take the guided tour?" Big fan of that. Big fan. The scene I want to talk about, which we've talked about, like you've mentioned like a handful of times already, is the villa, right? The officer at the club under their special awning and the officer's mess. That dinner where he's like holding court like a fucking Tudor king, basically. Like everyone comes to the Nathan Jessup loving while I talk bullshit and everyone does a career laugh around me. I fucking hate that. He's awful and he's horrible. And he says that disgusting thing when he's trying to undermine Galloway. So halfway through, Galloway keeps trying to push for more information. Kathy is like desperately trying to de-escalate it because he doesn't want to piss anybody off. So several times he's like, "No, we're not. We're gonna go. Oh, she's just one of her. It's charming. Just one of her quirks. She asks questions that she doesn't want the answer to. Let's go." And then Jessup does that whole like, "I just realized she outranks you. Oh, you're lucky there, kid." And spins that horrible thing about how great it must be to have that whole thing. I was talking with my wife earlier on, not about this scene specifically, but we're talking about the concept nowadays about what movies can and wouldn't get made today and what things would be different. And if they made this movie, I think this year, this scene probably wouldn't be in it necessarily. And it's not because it's a bad scene. I think it's a really good scene. I think it's because, depending on who made the movie, I guess, people aren't necessarily as comfortable about talking about this kind of stuff anymore.
Yeah.
There's a big push online of people who are like overly online, too online, you might say, who don't want to experience art or the world in any kind of way that makes them feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say because of woke, right? That's not what I'm getting at. That's not what I'm getting at, right? But there is a certain amount of thickening skin that may be required by some people out there who I'm going to get on my soapbox a little bit here. I get really annoyed, right, about people. You see on a lot of like YouTube content and other short form content on the internet, well, people don't use the word like killed anymore or committed suicide or anything like that because they're afraid of offending somebody. These concepts exist. These things happen. The world doesn't have to be comfortable for you. Like the world is out there. Terrible things happen every day. If you want to lock yourself in a bubble in your own house, then go with God. That's on you. But the rest of the world doesn't need to moderate its language around you, like to walk on eggshells because it might make your single individual experience of it different. Like the world wasn't curated for you as one person. Do you know what I mean? It just really pisses me off that you see that kind of stuff. It's like, fuck me, man. Like people get killed, right? Okay, and like
no, they get unalive.
Now we can't. Now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So yeah. I saw a video the other day about. I swear to God, I was watching a video on YouTube. And it was about Wolfenstein, the New Colossus, the 2019 video game, where you play as BJ Blazkowicz killing the fuck out of a shit ton of Nazis, right?
Yeah.
And the guy on the video, I swear to God, did not say the word Nazi once and kept saying tyrants. And I'm like,
good grief, that is crazy, man.
Why do you even want to fucking talk about it? You know what I mean?
I mean, our ancestors, not specifically yours, Sanya, didn't spend years battling against Mustache Man until he unalived himself in the Mustache Man bunker for nothing. You know? Yeah. No, it's wild. I've actually heard this like I've heard of actual quote unquote history content on YouTube that uses the phrase Mustache Man instead of Hitler. It's like he isn't fucking Lord Voldemort. He's not coming back if you mention his name. He's not fucking Beetlejuice. He's not the Candy Man. He's not the Bye Man. Jesus, imagine that. It's like, oh my God, guys, I've thought about Hitler, and he's back.
Grim, isn't it?
Yeah, crazy. But
God damn, yeah. So that whole sequence. Anyway, I think it's a really good scene in the movie because it shows you what a vulgar, crass, horrible, despicable, old, dirty man that Jessup is. behind the veneer of him being a highly decorated officer. Like,
and the veneer's pretty thin as well, isn't it?
Pretty thin. Yeah.
I mean,
he's got no respect for anybody.
No, not at all. And it's a significant amount of it is bluster, and he's honestly, he acts like he's in a pivotal role to defend society against the hordes of barbarians, and he's like a few hours boat away from Florida.
He's like a 90 miles away from like fucking Miami.
Yeah, like it's like you shit little man. For some reason, you're in this position when you can just say shit that would and should be absolutely career-ending if that was a CNN camera team and not a cinema camera team. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's just crazy, man. He's a horrible little bollocks, basically.
Yeah, he's a horrible little bollocks.
He's a horrible little bollocks, you know? Like, he's a fucking nasty little testicle of a man.
Yeah, and all he does is throw his weight around. There's the scene prior to that where they're talking about when they're in his office and they're talking about whether to transfer Santiago away, and he gives it the whole big spiel of like, I think we have a responsibility to train him and blah blah blah. Well, that's not what you mean.
Yeah,
you don't really think you have a responsibility to train him because you've already made your mind up that this guy is unsalvageable as a Marine because he doesn't fit your particular fucking what you think a good Marine is.
And plus, they wanted rid of him, didn't they? Because he was like, there was the whole thing when he was gonna rat them out to the NIS.
That's right. Yeah.
So NIS because there'd been like an unauthorized shot fired into Cuban territory, and he's like, I'll tell of you, I'll get you done. It's like, surely the Cubans themselves would be like, hi, one of your guys just fucking shot at us.
Yeah.
Sort it out. Sort it out, you slags. Like, it would be difficult to kind of cover this up if there was an actual, literal fucking gunshot fired towards what they say is like the mirrors, isn't it? They say it's like the equivalent opposite number guard posts. So it's like, you know, it isn't like open negligent discharge, desk pop, sorry boss. He was specifically claiming that he thought he was getting aimed at.
He thought he was getting aimed at, and he fired an aimed shot in retaliation.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we don't get into this in the movie. And the one thing I will say before we get it, like, right, the civil audience listening to it won't be able to make up their mind, I think, about what they think of that. It's implied that it's a big no-no. Obviously, diplomatically, firing a shot into Cuba is pretty fucking bad. What we don't know, though, is actually the ROE in force for them at the time. And I haven't really thought to look it up, to be honest. The general rule of thumb is that the American ROE is a lot more liberal than ours. Yeah. And especially yours, Sanye. I think yours and ours are both pretty restrictive. I think NATO as a body is extremely restrictive. Yeah. All right. So going on in the background, I suppose, with all this is Dawson and Downey don't trust a Kathy at all. Kathy, really, for the first hour of the movie, Kathy's not popular with anybody. He's a bit full of himself, a bit slick, and yeah, he's also not sure if he wants to take the case. And there's an inciting incident that makes him take the case. Basically, the arraignment is set up to happen. And the night before the arraignment is the big decision point about how Kathy's going to plead on behalf of the defendants, which is a bit weird, by the way. One, that the defendants don't enter their own plea. I don't know how accurate that is for the American military courts. That's not how we do things here. But it's mad that he's waiting till the night before. The defendants have a right to determine what their plea is, surely. Very strange that they've just let their hands be, like, their fates be in the hands of this one guy who they don't even like. I mean, there is the separate bit that I think, is it Downey has actually taken Galloway on as counsel just so that she can be part of the team, essentially.
Yeah, because his aunt
Ginny.
wanted Aunt Ginny, yeah.
Yeah. But then she says, like, I'm not going to rock the boat. You can remain as lead counsel, which is why you've got a lieutenant commander with much more experience working for the 9 months in lieutenant. Very odd. Anyway, at the 56-minute point of the movie, right, Galloway is trying to convince Kathy to enter a not guilty plea so these guys get their day in court and can actually argue the case, even though they think they're going to get beaten. And she does this by going, Kathy, you're the only one who could do this. You know how to win, and we need a lawyer who knows how to win, even though he's never been in a courtroom. And for the previous 56 minutes, all she's been doing is talking smack about him. Okay? Then, 40 seconds later, when Kathy's umming and ahhing about it, she goes, you know what? You don't know a thing about the law. You're an ambulance chaser. You're a used car salesman with a rank. It's like, make your mind up, Demi Moore. Do you like him? Do you think he's the best lawyer who can only win this case? Or do you think he's an idiot who doesn't know anything about the law? Like, I understand that she might be, like, manipulating him to try test his ego a bit. But yeah, it kind of works, though. So she obviously makes him feel a bit like shit after insulting him like that. He goes away, has his long, dark tea time with the soul. I think you see bits of the montage at the start of the trailer. And then the next day, they go to the arraignment, enter the plea. He enters that they're not guilty.
Like, sort of like begins in earnest, doesn't it? And it begins when the prosecution calls all of the platoon, individually. And yeah.
So you get that change. You get the change in this is good, actually. So I think this is like the dividing line between the first half of the movie and the second half. First half is all the setup, and you get all the character beats and the character build up. And then once that arraignment happens, you get the switch. Kathy is like, right, we're going to work from my place every night from 7 o'clock.
One of my favourite lines in the film, something that I've wrestled with a little bit today. The only thing I have to eat is Yoo-hoo and Cocoa Puffs. If you want anything else, bring it with you. It's like, right, gonna say it now, man. I'm a dirtbag. I'm the kind of human being who would literally say to someone, all I've got right now is generic cereal and generic flavoured milk is what I assume Yoo-hoo is, right? It's like, nobody who is in a life situation when all they have is Yoo-hoo and Cocoa Puffs is a lawyer at all. None of these people exist. These people do not exist. This is stealing scumbag valor, right? Like, I mean, it's, oh yes, it's funny, he's quirky, but it's like, no, when you're in that kind of position, you fucking give it up. You know, welcome to my give it up ass fucking dirtbag world. I'm the kind of horrible flesh golem that could exist on cereal and flavoured milk if I had to. I don't have a high-flying job that requires a huge degree of mental acuity like being a lawyer. If he was like existing on literally nothing but sugar and like chemically processed milk that's probably got lead in it, you'd see him take like 2 swings with his little bat and just fall over in exhaustion. I am not having this slander against stay-at-home sons like me who worked years to suffer the slings and arrows of existing on food that's just consumed for novelty. No. Garbage film. Quick. Done.
Oh, man.
Fuck off with your yoo-hoos, you lying liar.
Lying liar. Oh, I was worried I didn't get a chance to use the pants on fire defense.
Yes.
Oh man. Hey, let's take a moment to talk about our friend Sam Weinberg, played by Kevin Pollack.
Yeah.
Because he gets a difficult job in this movie as being kind of the third wheel, occasional quip giver kind of guy. But he gets one really good scene, which is that he has a moral compunction against Dawson and Downey.
Yeah.
He doesn't. Obviously, he's a Navy lawyer. He doesn't agree with the Code Red thing. He's not a fan of hazing rituals. Doesn't like bullying in any of its forms. I agree. And he is not keen to defend these guys. and doesn't understand why they're doing it. And he has an opportunity to get out the case. He's put on the spot as to why he did it. And he's like, because they picked on the little guy, you know? They took the guy, because he couldn't run as fast, couldn't run as long. They took this guy and they beat him up for it, kind of thing. But he stays anyway. But I just wanted to highlight little Kevin Pollack there because he's brilliant. And fact for the movie, that was going to be cast by, guess who? Jason Alexander was initially cast for that role.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
no way,
it could have been George Costanza, but he had to pull out because of Seinfeld.
Jesus.
Yeah.
There is, a kind of. There's kind of a little bit of George Costanza energy about him, though, when he's like, don't have to do a thing, don't have to do anything. Just have to go there, don't do anything, kind of thing. That's actually a little bit of Costanza in that. That's scarily prescient. Oh my God. I am really sorry now. I'm just absolutely just recasting all of the pivotal characters with the Seinfeld cast. So, of course, you've got Jerry Seinfeld himself playing Kathy.
Obviously.
You've got
Elaine,
Juliette
Louis-Dreyfus,
Mason, get out! And of course,
he took it out.
the role of Jessup.
Jessup as Michael Richards.
No. I think it's Newman.
Wayne Knight.
I think it's Wayne Knight, man. I think it's Wayne Knight, just sitting there in his greens with his big cigar, just with his Storm and Norman physique, just telling tales about Desert Storm to Jerry Seinfeld, who for some reason is. They're trying to make him believable.
The truth!
They're trying the best to make Jerry fucking Seinfeld believable as anything other than a comedian.
Then you out of the code red!
Oh my God. And then Kramer just starts saying, oh, code red!
So Kramer, I think Kramer's Kevin Bacon's character.
Yes! I mean, we've got to fucking put him somewhere. It's either that or he's one of the two killers.
Yeah, that was just half thought there.
It's either that or he's one of the two killers, which would be even harder to process. So he's the Kevin Bacon guy. Oh my God! or he's the he's the second lieutenant. He's the Keifer Sutherland role. Jeez.
Oh God! Yeah, no.
Horrendous. This is now
avowed racist Michael Richards.
Oh my God! He's just incredibly unsubtle about it. This is just straight up fan fiction at this point, man. This is like,
where's Jay Peterman?
Oh my God!
Is that Markinson? Maybe Jay Peterman? Oh, yeah. It's in the GTA Walsh role. I knew your son well, vaguely. I'd heard his name. But while I falsified that transcript, I knew what I had to do, Elaine. Yeah.
It'll always be Burma to me.
I hope you're watching the court case, because I'm only watching the passion. Right, sorry, yeah. Right, yeah. Case has started. The government is claiming that Kendrick specifically given an order to everybody not to touch Santiago. At the same time, Santiago had been granted a transfer from the base and was due to leave on that transport at 6 o'clock in the morning, which is when they say the first flight out of Cuba was taking place. So they've already lied by saying that is the first flight when actually there was an earlier flight. There's a second lie in that flight they said he's going on to didn't exist. They lie about the order not to touch him being given, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
Potentially. No, that one's true, because everyone saw it. What they then lie about is that Kendrick then gave a separate order to Lance Corporal Dawson, not Downey, as we later here, Lance Corporal Dawson alone, to do the code red on William Santiago. So what we see at the beginning of the case is testimony that the order not to touch Santiago had taken place, which isn't disputed. And then the next thing we get is the expert testimony of Christopher Guest from Spinal Tap as the doctor about the medical condition. And we find out, and it all gets stricken from the record. Basically, there's a lot of like little wins that they have and lots of little losses they have. They have a bit of a draw over the testimony of everyone saying that the order had taken place, and they kind of call it for the day and reconvene the next day. The medical stuff is very much a win for the prosecution and a big defeat for the defense. So what happens is they kind of badger the witness a little bit. They get the one thing that they needed quite early on, which was could the lactic acidosis, which caused the blood to pool in his lungs, have taken place without a chemical poison inducing it, which is what is claimed by the prosecution. Could that have taken place without the poison if they had an underlying medical condition? And does the underlying medical condition that would have taken place match the symptoms that Santiago had been presenting with? They get that bit done quite early, and they should have just left it there. But they keep badgering about, like, trying to get the doctor himself to say that he had given a lower standard of care to Santiago, had personally fucked up. And because they pushed a little bit too far, they eventually get the whole thing stricken from the record, which is a big loss for the defense, and that's a bit of a moment for them to kind of reevaluate. Yeah. So the next bit that happens in the case is they get Kendrick on the stand.
Yeah.
Kendrick is a safeguard lunatic.
Yeah.
And they get something pretty important out of it, which was that a previous code red had taken place, although they don't get into the record that it's formally known as a code red, even though they describe it as very much like one. I think it gets objected against, and it gets sustained. There's a shit ton of objections in this movie, by the way. I don't think real trials have this many objections.
I mean, I just want to hop in here and say, Sanya is the one of us with the most legal training, I guess. Maybe the only one of us with. I mean, you've probably had some training, obviously, Mike, but Sanya did go to law school.
Not legal training.
Yeah, but you've sat on. So basically, our court experience so far is, I've been sued successfully. I was sued.
That's more than I've.
I'm a divorce court warrior. Meg, obviously, you've been involved in a court martial.
So that's that's a legal one, and then the non-legal version of it is summary hearings, which I've been in charge of several times.
I mean, as a baby journalist and a student journalist, I was in court a few times in the Mags and in the Crown Court in Newcastle, which was really funny. Mainly, I shouldn't say, but it was pretty hilarious. But Sanya is the one who's got actual law school experience. So Sanya, how's all this stuff playing out for you? Like in the film, is this cool, or as someone with legal training, do you find this not believable?
I don't even know where to start with this, because honestly, I could start by hating on the French, which is always a good thing to do, but English and American common law is very, very, very distinctly different from anything we do on the continent, and especially so in Germany. So in all honesty, the most accurate answer I could give you is I don't fucking know, to be honest. We don't do like jury trials or something. We don't. It doesn't really happen.
Have you seen the movie A Nasty Movie before?
No.
Oh man, so it was 2 years ago I think it came out, and it's a French-German production. About and I think it's actually in French and German, but I think the trial happens in France. Anyway, a couple, the husband from a man and wife, falls out of a second floor window from their house, which is currently getting done up, into the snow outside, and breaks his neck and dies. And we see that happen. We don't see the fall happen, So we don't know what actually happened, whether he was pushed or he fell or whatever happened. But we do see the trial, but the trial's all done in a French court, and it's so different to like anything that Rory you would have seen. Like it's you know how in a court like in this you have a witness brought on the stand, they get an examination from the prosecution, a cross-examination from the defense, the opportunity for the prosecution to do a rebuttal to anything raised, and then it moves on, kind of thing. Nowhere anywhere near that level of organised. It's like they bring a person onto the stand, and then we just have a frigging argument for 20 minutes. And then the judge goes, right, I'm tired of this. Next one, just a big like, my lawyer's going to shot at your lawyer, and just like and then I'm going to chip in occasionally, and and people can just seem, people are always arranged in a semicircle. People can get called upon to yell at any time they want. It's just mental.
Actually amazing.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie. That the court case bit only takes up like a small portion. They do have like testimony. They do have proper testimony. Like the witness comes up and just give like testimony, and then is grilled. But it's weird. It feels so much more like flowing in a way than the British courts.
Mental. I need to check that out.
We also don't get funny little wigs.
Yeah, that's right. So the guy's got a robe on, but he hasn't got a funny little wig. So he's got like a crew, like a short crew cut hair, and then a cool little robe.
Yeah, man.
Wild. So we've had the beginning of the case, and we get Kendrick up. He gets his cross examination, and then we kind of find out the background a little bit for this. So an important detail: Lance Corporal Dawson had been previously punished by Kendrick for defying an order, and the order for him was morally incorrect, and through his own personal judgment, made a moral choice to defy that order and showed moral courage in doing so. A guy had been punished by being restrained into his barracks with only water and vitamin pills, and then Dawson gave him food and then was punished for giving him food. So very important background to demonstrate his what we call in the British legal system, but in Latin, the mens rea, the state of mind, in order to carry out the crime. So obviously, we've seen that from being punished for defending someone doing the morally right thing, he got punished. So when he gets another order to do something morally reprehensible, he's more likely to follow it. That happens. We have a whole cool bit where they talk about code reds and whether or not code reds exist. And Kevin Bacon gets all the different like doctrine publications out and goes like, show me in here where it mentions code red, show me here where it mentions code red, and then you see like Tom Cruise win that one by going up to the mobile and go, show me in here where it says where the mess hall is. It's like, well, you won't find that in there. It's like, well, you telling me the entire time you've been at Guantanamo Bay you've not had a single meal? It's like, no sir, 3 square a day. It's like, well, how did you get to the mess hall? I just followed the crowd at chow time.
And it's like there it is.
Nothing further. Boom. Brilliant. That's a good move.
It's like so theatrical how Kathy just like walks out and just takes the book out of Kevin Bacon's hands as he approaches the witness. It's like, yeah, that's actually kind of cool. That's mad swag. That is.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's really good. They get one really big setback, and this is like the sort of end of the second act. So one sort of founding basis for their case that they haven't even queried in their research prior is that both Dawson and Downey received the order at the same time in the same place to conduct the code red, and then through cross-examination of Downey. Downey's on the stand, and it's Kevin Bacon gets out of Downey that actually, due to a flat tire in the Jeep that would get him back to his barracks in time, he had a run back. He was 45 minutes late, and therefore was not at the location at the time that the defence has alleged that the order to give the code red was made, which was 5 minutes after the 16:30 finishing briefing, which would mean that he would have arrived back after like 1700 and would have missed that order. For Dawson and Downey together could not have received the order to give the code red. Lance Corporal Dawson gave Downey the order, relayed the order to give the code red, which is their big like, oh, we fucked up moment. The second one is Markinson, who'd come out of the woodwork once the trial had begun, has an attack of his conscience and decides to end his own life. before he can take the stand. So that's that fucked. So this causes like the team to have a bit of a crash out. Tom Cruise gets pissed. What do we think of What do we think of Tom Cruise's drunk acting?
I had some thoughts on this actually. You guys want to go first before I bring my opinions in on it?
No, please proceed.
He doesn't appear to be really drunk at all. There's no kind of slurring of words. There's like a bit of like a disinhibition, but he doesn't appear to be drunk at all. But it's also not shitty. Oh, look at me, I'm so wasted. Kind of drunk acting, like it's not flopping all over the stage kind of thing. It doesn't look especially believable, but it's not the worst I've seen. But like, yeah, I guess my thoughts were, it's like, I don't think Tom Cruise drinks.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I don't think he drinks at all. And when you look at drunk acting by, I'm just going to quickly slow things down because I want to get this guy's name absolutely right. So when you see John Dunsworth in Trailer Park Boys, rest in peace, John Dunsworth, gone too soon as Mr. Leahy. That's some incredible drunk acting. A man at the end of his rope, a man who's absolutely lost in the sauce. He didn't drink. He was a teetotaler. Yeah, I mean, I am the liquor Randy. You know, like he's a teetotaler. Tom Cruise, I think, has probably never like allowed alcohol to touch his mouth. I don't think, as a person, Tom Cruise has ever really been around people who have probably drank much, because it's like, okay, Tom, you've got to be a drunk guy. Okay, so I'm just a bit off kilter and I'm a bit wet because it's been raining. This is what drunk is, right? I mean, the fact that I have to have an actor say you're drunk or something to that effect, and then he pulls out a fucking bottle of bourbon. It's like, yeah, it's like, no, it's not. It isn't the worst drunk acting. It isn't comically bad. It's just not really believable. And he also drives drunk as well immediately afterwards, which isn't cool, by the way.
That's really not cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Arrive alive, dude. You know?
You get the impression that his frame of reference for drunk people is drunk people in the films.
Yeah.
So he's kind of he's almost mimicking a little bit of that. I mean, don't get me wrong. He doesn't live like a shutaway. He's
absolutely, yeah.
He's been out in public and seen people having parties and drinking before. You know, like, I'm not naive to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do get the impression that he doesn't surround himself with drinkers. Isn't a drinker. I think for him, I don't want to speculate on the man's inner psyche, but going off stuff he said in interviews and stuff, I don't think he believes in medicating in any way whatsoever, and I don't think he would like to divest control of his own faculties to a substance. You know, you remember that tirade he did on, God, I don't want to get this wrong, but I think it might have been 60 Minutes or something, when he was talking, or he had an interview where he was talking about how he really disagreed with Brooke Shields medicating for depression and
that's
and getting.
I mean that's like a Scientology thing, isn't it? Because they're like that against like psychiatry and stuff like that. Do you know that he is actually in the past he's like banned people from drinking like on the cast of his films and stuff? I've quickly just Googled it. On Top Gun Maverick, he imposed a strict no alcohol rule for cast and crew. It said, and it's like, obviously just Google a quick summary here saying, co-stars have said that while they may have wanted a drink, they understood the need to be in the best possible shape for the demanding stunts and flight scenes.
Yeah, so they have that big crash out about the case. As you rightly say, Tom Cruise then goes off and drives for a little bit dodgy. Basically what happens is he yells in the face of Joanne Galloway. She storms out. He kind of has a bit of a realization. He has a chat with he has his kind of like picking the hero up motivational chat with Weinberg.
Yeah.
And again, right, so right, this is some Aaron Sorkin writing here. It's, you know how I mentioned earlier on about Joanne Galloway giving like a bit of a speech to Cruise that seemed to come out of nowhere, and then somehow achieved its desired effect. Weinberg does the same thing here, where he's like talking about Kathy's dad, who's this renowned trial lawyer, like that people have heard of. He obviously had a long storied career, passed away before Kathy could ever get into law school, lingering insecurity, daddy issues, stuff going on there. He then tells Kathy, look, you're the guy doing this case. If anyone can do this, it's you. And if I had to pick somebody out of everybody in the world between you and your dad, if I had to pick one of you to defend these guys, I'd pick you every day of the week and twice on Sundays. And it's like, where are you basing that from? He hasn't even, this is his first ever case, and he's losing it.
Yeah.
Like, but you're a good friend, Weinberg. I give you that.
He's a very good hype man for him.
He is a good hype man. So he says the right thing when he's needed, but I don't really believe him.
Well, you see, I think Weinberg's inner monologue and way of thinking is like, of course I'm going to choose him over his dad. His dad's fucking dead. What are they going to do? Are they going to like bring in an urn with his dad's ashes in, put it at the desk, and just go, work your magic, sir? Like there's just like silence in the courtroom while Kathy Senior's spirit just projects into the minds of all the fucking jury, the panel, and the witnesses, and it's like, God damn. Yeah, so of course he's going to choose the guy who's actually alive.
It's brilliant. There's another bit of tension they've put into the movie here at this point, which I think is also a bit spurious, and I've looked it up. That's one of the only bits of research I've done. So one of the things that's mentioned a few times, Kevin Bacon introduces it, I think, quite early in the trial, in that scene where they're in the bar and they have their falling out.
Yeah.
You're a lousy fucking softball player, Jack. Is if you accuse during your questioning, if you accuse Colonel Jessup of any impropriety and then you are not found to be correct, you will get court-martialed.
Yeah, that's wild to me.
And I was like, that seems like a really shit way to run a justice system. If you are hamstringing the questions that can be asked by counsel to witnesses in such a manner, like surely what goes on in the courtroom is already pretty sealed.
Yeah,
it doesn't need to become a matter of disciplinary. It just needs to be proven or disproven, right? Anyway, I looked it up, and in the line of your questioning, you can ask what you want. It's not, you're not going to get run for it.
Yeah, I mean,
it'd be a different matter if he was standing on Main Street or yelling it in the mess hall. But he's asking questions to court of law. Like,
yeah, it's like, I mean, constitutionally protected speech, right? I mean,
yeah, but nevertheless, despite that hanging over him, Galloway convinces Kathy to put Jessup on the stand. And then we are coming into like the final third of the movie, which is like it's not even a third really, but it's like the last sort of 25 minutes, I suppose, is the questioning of Jessup. And this is like amazing stuff. And I don't need to hype this up. Like this is like wildly and popularly known to be amazing stuff, but this is the best bit of the movie for me. This is where it like kicks into overdrive. Because what it becomes, so we've seen this intricate trial, relatively intricate, of disproving certain aspects of the case as we've been going. And then after we've been through all that evidence, because there's been such a concerted effort by Jessup and co to cover their tracks, all that's left is playing upon Jessup's arrogance. Jessup has obviously got no fear of Kathy, just sees Kathy as like a, little pissant two-ringer. With one medal. Who gives a shit about him? I'll come to this courtroom and I'll stomp all over him, and then I'll walk out of here, probably get promoted again. Yeah. For my trouble. I don't give a shit. So he goes there thinking he's like King Louis, and
Louis. I'm fucking sorry. I've got a mental image of King Louis and dress greens just chilling there like. So you claimed to be the king of the swingers as you ordered this code red. Is that true? The jungle VIP. Arrest this man. This man is an ape in uniform. This man is not. How did he become a marine? This gigantic dragon, sir.
Yeah. But I love all this. really good acting, like head to head. Tom Cruise, King
Damn,
Louis.
Louis, fucking hell! Like, where did that even come from?
I don't know. It's right off my dome, and but it's that awesome bit of like, right. So the big lie that they span when they were concocting this whole thing was that they were going to transfer Santiago off the base. So that's the first thing he presses on, and there's a little bit of theatre. I fact check this as well, but there's a little bit of theatre when he brings the 2 airmen in from the Andrews Air Force Base to sit in the courtroom as if they're about to get called for testifying, which you see Nicholson notice. And the first thing he asks about actually is it is to do with Santiago's transfer off the base. He remembers that when they were inspecting Santiago's cabin, they looked in his wardrobe and seen that he hadn't packed. So they go, right, this guy was going to get transferred off the base. First flight in the morning. He was found dead at 0100. Flies at 06. And yet, all his clothes are neatly hanging. His footlockers neatly folded. He hasn't packed a single thing. We got his phone records. He didn't call a single person. He wrote 14 letters in 9 months trying to get off the base. And then when he gets his transfer order, he doesn't tell a soul. Doesn't ring his parents to tell him he's coming, doesn't ring his friend to ask him to pick him up at the airport. Not a single soul is informed. So we'll come back to that. Meanwhile, like he starts talking about when you give an order to men follow it. He's like, yeah. You've never worked in a forward area, you've never worked up threat, blah 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 blah. Here, when you give an order, you follow it, or people are in danger. It's like grave danger. It's like, is there any other kind? All that stuff. It's so good.
Yeah.
So you go through all that, and then finally he catches them in the contradiction, which is if you give an order and it has to be followed, and your men unquestionably follow them, and there's never any risk of any men not following your orders, and you order them not to touch Santiago, well, why did you order Santiago to be transferred off the base? And I love that. It's like, and he's like, so, and that's when he starts to get like really hostile, really pissy, because like that bit before then, he's like, these 2 Marines are in trial for their lives. Please tell me that you've got something more than a phone bill. like all that. I love doing the impression, by the way. Don't know if that's come across. And he's talking about like his own importance to national security. He's just super like up his own arse, super arrogant. And eventually he's like, I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Yeah. Incredible speech, which is pure Aaron Sorkin, like,
no, completely
awesomeness. Get through the whole speech, and you have that class bit where Kathy like just almost brushes it off and just goes straight back into the attack again, having just like ignored that big bluster from Jessup. It's like, did you order the code red? You goddamn right I did. Which is phenomenal. And then it all goes quiet.
Yeah.
And then like
the acting, the reaction.
He's still like,
yeah.
He's still like pissed, and then he doesn't understand. Like everyone, like it's all gone a bit quiet. The judge like orders the board to step out of the room to go to an empty room. They start getting up. Everyone rises. They get up and they start walking out. And he's like, "What's going on? This is ridiculous. I don't have to sit here for this. I'm gonna get on and play." And there's like a moment of silence where I think Kathy needs to like indicate to the US Marines, Kevin Bacon's character, that like you need to take over this bit now.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, okay, we need to like hang the trial for a second. And then he gets up, tries to walk away. The judge calls for the
MPs are on him.
The MPs to come, and he's like, "What's going? What?" And he's like taking a second. Then he like looks at Kathy, and he spins towards Kathy, and he like lunges at him. He's like, "I'm gonna rip out your eyes and piss in you. Yeah, gonna rip out your eyes and piss down your dead skull. You fuck with the wrong Marine." Fucking, oh man, so good.
Yeah.
But what I love about this is that so that's obviously that's the big climax, right? I love that. There's a few cool bits that have like led up to this moment. You see the seeds of it coming like miles off. You see we've been watching the whole movie. We've seen like how arrogant Jessup is, and like as always in media, like evil defeats itself in eventually. You see this in like Stephen King all the time. Like the big bad actually ends up being its own demise. He's his own demise. He's his own worst enemy. He's so cocky and he's so like arrogant and he just thinks he's untouchable and he thinks he's so important. He's got such like an overinflated sense of his own self-importance that he thinks he's bigger than the institutions around him. And because this is Aaron Sorkin and it believes in a better world, he's proven not to be the case. So there's that, and you see it come up a couple of times where like he pushes himself a little bit too far. He's a bit pissy with Kathy. He's like, I would prefer it if you called me Colonel or Sir while I'm in here. I believe I've earned that right. And then he disrespects the court straight away.
Yeah.
And then the judge is like, I prefer if you called me Judge or Your Honor. I'm quite sure I've earned that right.
Yes.
Smack. I love the judge, by the way. He's really good.
Jack Nicholson's character is just lack of respect and, in fact, hostility to Kathy is just the lengths he goes to. It's like, I mean, he uses some pretty choice slurs about his uniform for a start.
Yes.
Like the NATO reporting name for the MiG-15 fighter, you know. Fucking just he infers he's got a bit of a pretty gay mouth at one point. I forget the actual words he used, but it's very much like, he really is a horrible, degenerate piece of shit. I mean,
he's not that senior an officer, by the way.
Yeah, he fucking isn't. It's crazy. I think he's 20 big bollocks.
Yeah, he goes around the place like he owns the world.
Yeah,
and he might be getting a cushy government appointment.
I was going to say, like, he's a colonel. Like we have lieutenant. I don't know about your military, but lieutenant colonel is the most prevalent rank we have amongst officers. There's so bloody many of them, and he's just one rank higher than that. He's a brigade commander. Yeah, fuck. He's the commodore for minesweepers, but he acts like he's the first Sea Lord.
He's not even a commodore. He's less than a commodore. So he's a colonel, equivalent in the Royal Navy at least to a 4-rank captain. So next above that is brigadier, commodore.
Shit, right?
Each other, and vice versa. Yeah. So he's not. I had a more senior officer attend my fucking pass out when I was as the VIP when I was a rating, for God's sake.
Yeah, I mean, and again, this guy who's essentially a relatively small cog in a big machine, his whole brand is based on the fact that I'm this guy defending America's borders against, checks notes, Cuba. Yeah, and it's like, fucking, I am defending America against
commies with cigars.
Cuba's not going to fucking invade America, Like,
so the Americans tried it the other way and failed. So I don't know who's really guarding who there and why that fence is there.
That means
fucking
there's a movie we should do.
America today. But it's wild to me. It's like even then, in like 1991, it's probably 1992 was like released. In 1991, out of nations that were an existential risk to the United States of America, right? Cuba's like gonna be close to the bottom, very close to the bottom. It's like, and there's this whole very much, he's like, and because it's a reputation he builds for himself. He's his own PR kind of guy, isn't he? All these stories like, you talk softly and carry an armored division kind of thing, and you get the impression that he kind of did okay in Desert Storm, and then they've given him this cush job in Cuba, which all of a sudden is the most fucking high stakes job in the world. It's like, we've got to hold these goddamn Cubans back. We've got to hold them back, guys. I don't know what the hell's going to happen. Holy shit, fucking they're going to invade America and bring loads of high quality dark rum. Shit.
If America was so deeply still involved in the Cold War, they wouldn't have intervened in the Gulf War.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, so he spins a big fat one about how great he is, and he's just a career politician with a crass mouth, isn't he? That's essentially it.
Only I can hold the Buena Vista Social Club at bay.
yeah.
Your Latin rhythms are held away by the strong right hand of Uncle Sam, and the strong left hand.
Work and no play for El Presidente.
It's
Do you want your kids to grow up in a banana republic instead of a Coca-Cola republic that they're in now?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Every day I live 300 feet away from the tequila lady, pointing her bananas at me.
Yeah. Listen, I live 300 feet away from 1950s American cars that are still kept in good condition and other Cuban stereotypes. It's horrifying out there. Good God. It's like, and that's probably a Cuban cigar he's smoking as well during the scene as well, so it shows his massive hypocrisy.
You know, I was holding back a stupid comment about that whole I eat breakfast 4,000 feet away from. It's like, I eat breakfast in my new bunks. I eat breakfast roughly 40 meters away from my own staff, which seems considerably worse than Cubans. Because they are intent on making my life a living hell. And I don't even get a fence between myself and them.
Well, you know what, right? I've done pretty well not to mention it so far, but there's a scene earlier on where they talk to Kendrick, and he's like, "You got a problem with me, Kendrick?" And he's like, "No, I like you Navy boys just fine. Every time we need to go somewhere to fight, you guys always give us a ride." I'm like, hey, first of all, Sanya, you're correct. Fuck him, because his branch of the military wasn't involved in the largest amphibious operation ever to have taken place, Operation Overlord. Whereas mine was. And
Fine, actually.
Yeah, we will. We don't talk about yours to me so much.
Are we the baddies? But this movie could be improved by the introduction of Lieutenant Commander Royal Navy Mike Dunbar entering the scene every time Jessup opens his mouth and saying, "Cheers, dids."
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Cheers, dids. All right, okay.
Yeah, all right, man.
Yeah. Right, let's do it. No, let's do it. Right, there's something about we've been nibbling at the edges of it for a while now. Let's just get it all out there. The way they talk about how important they are in fucking Gitmo is ridiculous. They're talking as if there's a hot war going on between Cuba and America. There's not, right? Like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So oh, you want to put a jacket on? If you like a camouflage jacket, if they see an officer, the Cubans might think it's someone they want to take a shot at. Yeah, they might if they don't care about being nuked off the face of the earth by the world's largest military. It's just bigger than the next 25 militaries down as well combined. Like, what a fucking stupid thing to say. No. I think being a Cuban soldier on opposite Guantanamo Bay is probably the safest place to be because no one's going to start shit there.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I am betting you, like, I don't know, you guys probably remember, like, what Mill Twitter was like 4 to 5 years ago. And I am fucking certain that the rest of the Marine Corps would constantly be like, Cuba's not a real deployment.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing as Japan is not a real deployment, South Korea is not a real deployment, because all they do is sit around behind a fence and eat chicken or something.
Yeah. Right, so
I mean, at least there's actually been exchanges of gunfire on the
allegedly
demarcation between North and South Korea. There was like the axe murder incident when North Korean troops killed some American troops, admittedly back in the 60s, I think, but I don't think there's been any actual violence between the Americans and the Cubans, and fucking Jack Nicholson's getting those Cuban cigars somehow, so there's clearly some kind of liaison
there
going on.
is distinctly more violence between United States Marines and elderly Japanese men for some reason. They keep beating them up randomly. I came across an article about that like half a year ago. I don't know why. Well, there's more going on everywhere else rather than wherever the hell Colonel Jessup is.
Ridiculous.
I hate that guy.
Yeah, like I say, it gives me like big Cyprus op shader, like Akatiri vibes. People go on about you get like guys in the RAF who get like op shader medals and stuff for for like working in the rear echelon at Akatiri in Cyprus. And I used to be, before I got married, I was seeing somebody who was in the RAF, and I was deployed in the Falkland Islands on HMS Clyde at the time. This is like 10 years ago. I was on HMS Clyde at the time, and I remember having to go to the little shop in RAF Mount Pleasant, and spending a tenner on a little 100 megabyte Wi-Fi card, so I could have like a WhatsApp phone call with her. And she spent the entire time complaining that the beach club, the beach club at RF Akatiri was out of action, so she just had to sunbathe outside instead. And I was like, yeah, okay. I'm on the arse end of the planet. like the only shipping I've seen since I've been down here is one Russian AGI. Like that. What is going on? Yeah, God, crazy. Yeah, Bedtal. Oh man, yeah, it takes you back though. Good times.
Really good. That's like bad times to me, mate.
Yeah. Shall we take a break and we'll come back and do some categories?
Yeah.
Colonel, what's going on? I did my job. I do it again. I'm gonna get on a plane and go on back to my base.
You're not going anywhere, Colonel. MP's got the Colonel. Yes, sir. Captain Ross.
What the hell is this?
Jessup, you have the right to remain silent.
I'm being charged with a crime.
Trial by court-martial.
Is that what this is? I'm being charged with a crime?
Right to consult the lawyer prior to
That's funny. That's what this is.
I'm gonna rip the eyes out of your head and piss in your dead skull. You fucked with the wrong Marine. Colonel Jessup, do you understand these rights as I just read them to you?
Fucking people. You have no idea how to defend a nation. All you did was weaken a country today, Kennedy. That's all you did.
Quotes of the movie. Have you got any favourite quotes? I've got a few, but I'll let you guys go first.
So many. Sanya, do you want to jump in with the quotes on me too?
I have one that I would like to apply to someone right now, which is, "You are like 7 of the strangest women I've ever met."
Oh, that's good. I like it when they're in the foreign captain's office of Captain West. He says, "Commander Galloway, why don't you go and get yourself a cup of coffee?"
We can talk about you behind your back.
Yeah, I love that. That's good. I'm on the IMDb quotes page. Like, most of the Jessup Cafe back and forth is on here.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it is very, very good. But we can't quote all of that.
I love just that little one-liner. Maybe if we work at it, we can get Dawson charged with the Kennedy assassination. That is,
yeah, I love that.
That's an incredibly Sorkin line.
Yeah. Well, right, back to the subject of Colonel Jessup being full of shit. Like the way he talks here. "You see, Danny, I can deal with the bullets and the bombs and the blood. I don't want money and I don't want medals. What I do want for you is to stand there in that white uniform with your Harvard mouth and extend me some fucking courtesy.
Your Harvard
you
mouth.
gotta ask me nicely."
That's it, your Harvard mouth. I thought it was a gay mouth thing he was saying, but it's clearly your Harvard mouth.
"I can deal with the bullets and the bombs and the blood." Oh, fucking pull everyone. Like,
come on,
get a
dog.
grip.
Like,
we've all done stuff.
We've all done stuff, mate. Simmer the fuck down. You know what he's like? Though? He's like, "What the fuck did you just fucking say about me, you little bitch? I'll have you know I graduated top of my class in the Navy SEALs, and I've been involved in numerous secret raids at Al Qaeda, and have over 300 confirmed kills. I am trained in guerrilla warfare. I'm the top sniper in the entire U.S. Armed Forces. You're nothing to me, but just another target. I'll wipe you the fuck out with precision." The likes of which, as I've been seen before on this earth, mark my fucking words. You think you can get away with saying that shit to me over the internet? Think again, fucker. As we speak, I'm contacting my secret network of spies across the USA. And your IP is being traced right now, so you better prepare for the storm, maggot. The storm that wipes out the pathetic little thing you call your life. You're fucking dead, kid. I can be anywhere, anytime. I can kill you in over 700 ways, and that's just my bare hands. Not only am I extensively trained in unarmed combat, but I have access to the entire arsenal of the United States Marine Corps. And I don't have to finish the Navy SEAL copy pasta there, because that is from Colonel Jessup's autobiography.
Yeah,
that he
amazing.
carved into his cell wall in Leavenworth.
Weinberg and Kathy meeting Galloway for the first time. Commander Galloway, Lieutenant Keifer is considered to be the best litigator in our office. He successfully plea bargained 44 cases in 9 months. One more and I get a set of steak knives. Love that. And then that comes back later on where she's like, where he's about to leave, and she, after you said he's drunk and crash out, and she goes, "Sorry, I cost you a set of steak knives." Yeah.
That was good, yeah. There are some excellent crash outs in this film, actually. Just to kind of really quickly mention something about the relationship between Kathy and Demi Moore's character, the name which escapes me.
Joanne Galloway.
Galloway, thank you. So my wife watched the first maybe 10 minutes of the film with me before she went upstairs to her lair when she would just she went upstairs to lie down because she was tired. She didn't return to some weird, strange lair that's full of haunted beasts and stuff. But
like the keep.
Yeah, but before she left, she was like, "Oh, well, they're obviously going to fall in love because it's a 90s film and there's no romantic subplot," and that's meant. I think that's
great,
yeah.
And that's a good Sorkinism, right? So Sorkin is pretty good at dangling but not fulfilling a romantic subplot between characters. I've been watching the West Wing again, and they kind of eventually like 5 or 6 seasons in, they kind of start doing it, but for like ages, years upon years, you've got this kind of like really good close working relationship between Josh Lyman, the deputy White House chief of staff, and his assistant Donatella Moss, and like a lesser show would have made that like a will they won't they thing like straight away and just had it going the entire time, but this doesn't do it. There's just like two professionals who are slightly beyond the edge of like they're turning into like work wife and work husband, but they keep it professional. Yeah, that's good. Another good quote from the crash out. Kathy to Joe, "Ha! Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting. You were sick the day they taught law at law school."
That was that was bars. That was like, hold up. His writing is indeed this fire. That was like sick the day they taught.
There's a few bits though where you hear like the Aaron Sorkin tempo and timbre, like the rhythm of stuff.
Yeah.
He has a very idiosyncratic way of writing, and I mentioned it earlier on. You know, there's a bit where Galloway is having a go at Kathy when she first meets him, and she says, "I don't like your fast food, slick ass Persian bazaar, blah 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 side of law." There's a similar thing that Lieutenant Weinberg does when he's having the discussion with Galloway about why he doesn't like the defendants because of what they did. She's like, why do you hate them so much? He goes, "They beat up on a weakling. That's all they did. The rest is just smoke-filled coffee house crap. They tortured and tormented a weaker kid. They didn't like him, so they killed him. And why? Because he couldn't run very fast. But the smoke-filled coffee house crap, like little things like that, little bits. They all like you could picture that when he did like the West Wing and like the newsroom. It was all like stuff like that, like lots of little bars.
Yeah.
He's a big fan of rhythm and timbre when he's putting his lines together.
I really enjoyed just this fucking heat is making me absolutely crazy line again from Colonel Jessup, like, because again it's just him trying to build this reputation as this crazy guy who's on the edge. It's like, no, you literally live here. You are probably quite acclimatized by this point to the heat. You know, knock it off. You know what? He should do a fucking tour of duty in Ashington, right? Him and his boys should march up Station Road. You know, they'll get accosted by Mickey T. He'll roll up on his little wheelchair. He'll try and sell them some used vapes. He'll demand a kebab off them. They won't know what to do.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What we haven't talked about really is the relationship between Dawson, Lance Corporal Dawson, and Kathy. One of the sort of D plots of the movie is that those guys are at loggerheads at the beginning.
Yeah.
Dawson fundamentally doesn't respect Kathy. Dawson obviously takes his career in the US Marines incredibly seriously. what is it? It's unit core god country or something like that, isn't it? Is the order unit core god country. So for him, his entire identity is consumed by being a US Marine, which is understandable, by the way. Like, I remember when I first joined the Navy, like 11 going on 12 years ago, I remember being hungry for it, you know. I did my basic training as a rating, got transferred, became an officer, did like, you know, the 9 months of initial officer training. That entire time you're like on this, you know, your identity gets essentially kind of reset almost, you know. You were this one person before you came in, and like a couple of years later you are fundamentally this different person. I understand where like Dawson is. He's obviously making a career of it. He's Lance Corporal, relatively junior, making a career of it. But you can see that he's been embraced by the Corps, and he's embraced it. So the fact that he sees someone like Kathy, who's a lieutenant, who's been for 9 months, has got the military bearing of a smashed-in biscuit tin, like it's the military bearing of my cat. Like, you know, like yeah, I get it. He doesn't respect this guy because he's a civvy in a uniform, like 100%. And like one of the background plots it happens only in like 3 beats that are spread out about 45 minutes apart each. Eventually you get like Dawson learning to respect Kathy for what he is, which is not an amazing naval operator, but he's a trial lawyer, a litigator, and he respects him for that, the skill and the dedication and the hard work he's shown doing that. And then at the end of the case, of course, Dawson and Downey are not guilty of the murders, but they are guilty of misconduct and are, removed from the service. And at first, I think it's Downey who's saying, like, what did we do wrong? We followed the order.
Yeah.
What did we do wrong? It's like, we weren't supposed to follow the order. We were supposed to protect Private Santiago. We were supposed to protect Willie and look after him. Like, that's the core value that you didn't do, that you should have done. And it's only when Kathy says to him, you don't need to have a badge on your arm to have honor.
Yeah.
Is when he goes like, turn up.
Officer on deck.
And it does that. Does the officer? There's an officer on deck. It does the awful, like, both of them indoors, no headgear salute. Would never happen in a million years. But they did it to make a point, right? And it rhymes with the previous scene where he doesn't salute. Even again, they were both indoors, no headgear. Anyway, it's not the done thing. And I checked, it's not the done thing in America either. Yeah, so anyway,
we all irritated the fuck out of Colin in Flensburg with that.
Oh yeah, brilliant.
It was what are you doing?
There's an officer on deck. Yeah. Final quote. To move this thing along a bit, it's got to be the big. I mean, we know what the quote's going to be, right? You know, I want the truth. You can handle the truth.
Yeah.
Son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls have to be guarded by men with guns. Who's gonna do it? You, Lieutenant Weinberg? I have a greater responsibility than you could possibly fathom. You weep for Santiago, and you curse the Marines. You have that luxury. You have the luxury of not knowing what I know, that Santiago's death, while tragic, probably saved lives, and my existence, while grotesque and incomprehensible to you, saves lives. You don't want the truth, because deep down in places you don't talk about at parties, you want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. We use words like honor, code, loyalty. We use these words as a backbone of a life spent defending something. You use them as a punchline. I have neither the time or the inclination to explain myself to a man who rises and sleeps under the blanket of the very freedom that I provide, and then questions the manner in which I provide it. I would rather you just said thank you and went on your way. Otherwise, I suggest you pick up a weapon and stand a post. Either way, I don't give a damn what you think you're entitled to. Did you order the code red? You goddamn right I did! Yeah, okay, Boomer.
I've just thought. The speech is making it up like Jessup thinks he's the guy in the trolley problem pulling the lever.
God, he totally
But
is.
he's actually the guy who put the people on the tracks.
Spot on.
Colonel Jessup has killed more Americans than Cubans in this movie.
Right? Holy shit.
Right.
It's like, listen, this one guy was fucking bad at running, and if I didn't execute him, who knows how many other people could have been killed.
Could have been killed.
Jesus!
You don't want a guy whose job is to stand on a wall to be bad at running?
Yeah. You absolute Harvard fucking panty waste. This guy wasn't at 105% fucking physical fitness. Do you know how many other people might have been killed if this man didn't drown in his own blood?
There's one guy who they call the pickup private because his job is to drive the Jeep. Give that to him.
Yeah. It's like, look, now, you're a pickup private. I know the last one also had the ability to get girls to come over. You need to learn that skill too, but just drive the Jeep. Pick people up. You know, it's wild to me. It's crazy. I mean, obviously, I guess, like, I mean, it all, like, just kind of like this, once again, it's just like feeding a Jessup's soul. I am the entirety of the US military. I am. I made the BBC. I made it. I'm Henry Sellers. I made it. Bloody hell! Hot.
You did nothing but make a country weaker today.
Yeah. All right. I believe you.
Yeah.
Needle drops. There is one decent needle drop in this movie. Hound Dog, written by Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller.
Yeah.
Not the Elvis Presley version, no, the Big Mama Thornton version.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Awesome.
I was like, hell yeah, dude.
Really good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Next category. IMDb trivia. We've covered some of it. I'll do some more though. Tom Cruise's Jack Nicholson impression, when the characters are quoting Colonel Jessup, was not scripted. Demi Moore and Kevin Pollack's reactions were genuine.
It's amazing.
That's not the most interesting fact to begin with, but I mentioned it earlier on. The original play was inspired by an actual code red at Guantanamo Bay. Lance Corporal David Cox and 9 other enlisted men tied up a fellow Marine and severely beat him for snitching to the Naval Criminal Investigative Service. Cox was acquitted and then later honorably discharged. In 1994, David Cox mysteriously vanished, and his bullet-ridden body was found 3 months later.
Oh.
His murder remains unsolved. But that's from IMDb, but I've got some extra detail on that as well. So the case itself was based on a real incident. Aaron Sorkin's sister, who's a Navy JAG lawyer, or was at the time, told me about hazing gone wrong involving a code red from a superior. I had the name of the guy. PFC William Alvarado was the basis for Santiago. He survived and didn't die, and the other Marines were court-martialed, obviously not convicted of murder. So they've upped the stakes by having him die during the hazing to make it obviously like a meaty case for a movie and/or Broadway play.
Got a goof that I noticed last night.
Yeah.
So the dialogue after Martinson kills himself, and Kathy is like, "Oh, he put a 45 caliber gun in his mouth or whatever." But that's a Beretta M9. It's a Beretta 92, which is a 9mm pistol. Yeah, so basically garbage film. Hated it. I wanted to shoot myself after watching it just because they got that one particular gun wrong.
A good thing that you mentioned earlier on about the lack of a romantic subplot. So an unnamed executive gave Aaron Sorkin a note. If Tom Cruise and Demi Moore aren't going to sleep with each other, why is Demi Moore a woman? And he responded, I said the obvious answer: women have purposes other than to sleep with Tom Cruise.
That's incredible.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, I would argue, Tom Cruise doesn't really give... Right, on the subject of Tom Cruise, we've kind of skirted around the subject of Tom for a while. One of the other things we haven't talked about, and it's none of our business really, but I don't find him convincing with any other female lead in a romantic subplot. I've never seen him in a movie where he has a romantic subplot with a woman where it's worked for me, with the one exception of being Eyes Wide Shut, because he's married to Nicole Kidman, and the whole plot of the movie hinged on the fact that they have a weird energy. Example, Edge of Tomorrow with Emily Blunt. Don't buy it. And everyone loves that movie, and I love that movie, but don't buy that. Don't buy that romance. Oblivion with Olga, what's her name? Can't remember her name. So look it up.
My tongue, but yeah, I don't buy that one either. Really, I don't know whether it's a blessing or a curse.
Kulenko.
It's he's blessed or cursed with the physical aesthetics of a sexy man, but incredibly sexless vibes.
Yeah. Top Gun Maverick with Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah.
And they have that sex scene, which is just the two of them rolling around on a bed laughing at each other.
That's what he thinks sex is, man.
That's so weird. He's just there, like, doing his whole bit, like, big toothy laugh face that he does on interviews and stuff.
It's what he thinks sex is.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
Weird.
Yeah, that's it to him. It's just like lying in bed with a lady and laughing.
Crazy.
Weird.
There's a couple of more goofs. So we mentioned already the judge advocate has the same qualified immunity as any other attorney arguing your defence. So you wouldn't get court-martialed for asking a question of Jessup.
Yeah.
Maybe he would if he was found in contempt of the court and was saying mental shit, but just doing a line of questioning shouldn't fill him with the fear of God, you know? When they bring in the 2 US Air Force airmen in to spook Colonel Jessup, because he thinks he's got a smoking gun with the testimony of these 2 guys, but actually he just brought them in as set dressing because he was like, what were they going to say on the stand? Oh, that they had no recollection. That wouldn't have worked in real life because witnesses like that don't just sit in the courtroom waiting to be called forward. They're kept in an ante-room and then brought in purely for their testimony because they don't watch the rest of the trial happening. What else is going on? Salutes, ridiculous. Yeah, covered that already. People saluting without headgear, indoors, mental. Would this movie have been better with Dr. Jack Ryan?
Like, isn't Jessup supposed to become some sort of more important national security? Like, this could start as Ryan requesting some sort of investigation into what's going on. It's like this. We want this guy on our security council, but there's like people dying off at his command despite him only being in Cuba. That's sus.
Yeah.
Go look at that.
He would.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You know what it is? In that case, he would totally dispatch Ding Chavez to investigate, wouldn't he? he would send Ding Chavez and John Clark to see just what the hell's going on down there.
Oh, this is a totally different movie.
Totally different movie. Good movie. Totally different one.
It's an on-the-ground investigation into the cultures of the Code Red.
That would be
the movie would be called Code Red.
The movie called Code Red, and it would be sick. Tom Clancy's Code Red.
Code Red.
That would be absolutely sick. I want to watch that film. We need to write that film.
Sean Connery is the judge.
Nice.
I believe I have earned that right.
You watch yourself.
As far as Dr. Richard Kimball goes, he could have been a specialist witness for the defense, a specialist medical witness.
Yeah.
For defense.
Yeah. Lactic acidosis.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah.
President James Marshall. This movie has an actor called James Marshall.
I noticed that. I was like, holy shit, man.
Yeah. But as President James Marshall, could you imagine President James Marshall in this movie? As the president, he's like he storms in at the end.
He's like, get out of my courtroom.
It's a big swinging dick of the executive branch. Get off of my base. Get out of my Marines.
Get out of my corps.
Get out of my corps.
That sounds incredibly homoerotic. Something get out of my Marines. It's like, okay.
Well, we're discussing the military.
It's not gay if it's underway energy over here.
Jeffrey Wright could have been anybody in this movie. Jeffrey Wright could have been good in the Kevin Bacon role.
Yeah, definitely.
As your not standard Marine.
Yeah.
Who's the thinking man's Marine. Who still wears the green uniform but actually has something between his ears.
A freshly eaten crayon.
Ooh. He was inspired for that one.
Ooh. God, man.
You should refer to them as naval infantrymen just to piss off any potential Marine listening. And
His Majesty's Jollies, soldier and a sailor too. Not my words, the words of Rudyard Kipling.
Oh, shit.
Oh shit! Rudyard Kipling was crazy for that one, yo.
Hold up, his writing is this fire.
Whoa, hang on a minute. King Louis. It all comes back around.
It all comes back to King Louis. Holy shit! Everything
Yeah.
flows from Rudyard Kipling. Clearly.
Oh yeah. Ah, well, yeah, exactly. God, you may talk of gin and beer when you're quartered safe out here in fucking Guantanamo Bay, quartered safe out there. Yeah. But when it comes to saucy, you'll do your work on water and lick the blooming butts of him that's got it. Yeah, all right, okay. Couldn't get in, everybody.
Yeah.
That's, the Ding Chavez Award for Missed Opportunity of the movie. Clearly the ghost of Rudyard Kipling appearing as a Force ghost. But apart from that, God, I think this movie nails it largely. The only thing, right, so I get the impression that whilst this movie is loved by me and plenty of people I know, I think Navy barristers, everybody in the military kind of likes it. I guess it's a good movie. What it doesn't do, I don't think very well. I kind of like it, but what it doesn't do, and maybe this is a good thing actually, is it doesn't like have a counterpoint for Nathan Jessup. Is like, actually, the military's actually good, actually. It kind of owns the problem, and that like the most powerful guy is a fucking shitheel, and the guy who got passed over, Markinson, has just killed himself in a motel room. The system does not reward meritoriously. It's political wheeling and dealing, just like anywhere else. There's a swamp that needs to be drained, but there isn't like there's not like a good version of Jessup to make us feel comfortable. You know, it's not like Clear and Present Danger, where like President Jack Ryan at the end like stands up to the president and is like, I don't dance. It's like, it's your so my two-step, Jack, and he's like, I don't dance, and then leaves. You know, it's not like that. I don't know. Is that a missed opportunity? Actually, it's kind of a win. I'm not really sure.
I think it is a win. While it's not a game changer, and I don't think it would like kind of make the film much worse, much better. Just to have just a few seconds of the incident with the alleged, they were aiming at me, I was going to shoot at them kind of thing, would be interesting to see just how they work that into the film kind of thing, because it does kind of pose more questions and stuff, and it would add a few more layers to it actually in the storyline and stuff. It's like I say, its presence or absence isn't a game breakout or changer, but still it would be interesting.
Interesting, isn't it? So you get like you get a short scene at the beginning of the movie of the initial assault, which results in Santiago's death, right?
Yeah.
There's a version of this movie where they did like a bit of a Rashomon thing.
Yeah.
And every time we see someone's testimony, we get a flashback to what their interpretation of the events were.
Yeah.
And you get a whole like, oh, well, from Private Downey's perspective, this is what he saw. From Dawson's perspective, this is what he heard. From Kendrick's perspective, this is what he said and what they took it as. You know, there's none of that. There's just it's all the courtroom.
Yeah.
I like it for being all in the courtroom because it's all in your imagination and you are just there. Because I think it would distract from the compelling performances and the intricacies of the language. I'm of no doubt that like Rob Reiner had those conversations when they were putting the movie together, when he was directing it and looking at the screenplay and going, well, actually, should we intercut? Should we shoot some stuff and then intercut it on the editing to like show what they're talking about? Or should we just stay in the courtroom and stay there? And they obviously made the right call there, I think, to keep it all in the courtroom. Right? Should we talk about the ML Cour, MD Cour, MH Cour? So that's the most. This is your op for most likely course of action, your most dangerous course of action, and our most hilarious course of action. Most likely course of action is what they expected it to be, right? So you assign the case to really junior counsel, who's got lots of form for taking plea deals and not taking things to trial. What the most likely outcome of this is that they get the 12 years for a guilty plea that was offered at the beginning, and those guys spend the better part of their lives in Leavenworth, and Kathy gets his set of steak knives and moves on, and the whole thing doesn't happen really. that's the most likely course of action. And then, terrifyingly, that means that Jessup is unencumbered on his rise to the top, goes on to be the director of operations for the National Security Advisor. And then, Jesus, his career trajectory from there is, either National Security Advisor himself proper, or remains in the military, becomes like head of the Joint Chiefs. He's a colonel at the moment, but you can see him rising up brigadier, whatever, major general, up to general. You can see like 10 years from this, 15 years from this, he's occupying like 4-star. Terrifying.
Yeah. Or even more scary is he's in the Oval Office.
Oh, Jesus.
Presidential run would be horrific. I feel like I'm in the dead zone and I've just shook that bad guy's hand and I've had the visions that, live free or die.
Yeah.
He has jet in your eye and that motherfucker's free.
So this is the HW presidency, isn't it? This movie came out in. So there's a version of this where I don't think he's on the ticket in time for George W.
No, he wouldn't be.
But he's certainly around to be a contender, I don't know, around Obama's second term.
I mean, you know what? You're probably right. He would have ran against Obama in kind of timeline terms, right? And
by the time you've done out your military career and you're an old guy, I mean, what was he meant to be about there? About 50 odd?
So I mean, let's work it out. So he did Vietnam. So he did a few tours in Nam. So 60s to 70s. So he's been in for.
He could have been as young as 18, 19 during that.
Yeah. So he's going to be in like 60s, late 50s, early 60s, maybe.
Well, maybe. In which case, actually, maybe he's looking at maybe running against him in the 2008 election. Then,
yeah,
maybe it's like a reasonable time. Yeah. Maybe he's like a contender in the primaries and loses out to George W. Bush.
You know what? The really hilarious thing would be seeing him doing a presidential run within that kind of time frame and like debating against, for instance, Obama. Especially because he'd have Kendrick as his hype man, possibly even as VP contender. And Kendrick would be trying so hard not to say something super fucking racist. Kendrick, by this point, would have been like dishonorably discharged for like shooting some children in like, not even a war zone, in like Baltimore or something.
This is your hilarious course of action, check.
Well, I mean, it'd be like quite funny just to say like Kendrick loudly sweating and trying not to say something racist while his boss, who's like the walking embodiment of the Navy SEAL copy pasta, gets in a debate with Barack Obama.
Can you imagine, like, we just got the California poll figures in. 89% of voters don't want their baby kissed by Nathan Jessup. 57% of those people thought that was a fairly or very important issue.
Yeah, it's like he looks like he would eat it. It's like.
I'm just trying to picture him like in one room with Bernie Sanders.
Could you imagine
that would
like
be so
Nathan
funny.
Jessup getting a question on gays in the military? Could you just imagine him like answering that and having to like
I am
try and be nice about it?
If you ordered that code red.
Oh my god.
They attract enemy radar. They muck about. They always want to sit at the captain's table.
Victim of the gay boat.
Why are you being gay with your men? I'm here with the commanding officer of HMS Gooch.
when he's just literally giving oral sex to his side on.
90% of injuries in the naval service are sustained to the penis.
This is a deep cut that's probably not going to play with the handful of non-British listeners we have. And in fact, actually, I think more of our listeners are non-British than are British.
I'll put some video footage up as it's happening.
So we are of course
obviously referencing Brass Eye,
which is the epitome of fake news. It's the greatest fake news ever created. I love it very much.
Day to day, Brass Eye, love it.
Yeah.
Cool. Should we? Oh, dude, actually, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
have you got any notes from the Peanuts gallery?
There's lots of very funny content out there about this film on our favourite website, Letterboxd. Once again, I'm not using this spot to kind of call out people's opinions, even if they are shit. We'll just kind of move on and deal with these bad opinions that we witness. I mean, it might be a shit opinion, but it's not a shit person. So
I just glanced at one, Rory, that says Jack Nicholson looks like he eats babies.
there you go. That's why the California voters don't want him touching the fucking kids, man. But like, especially, it's like there was one woman who was like, "Oh my god, I named my daughter Crayola, and he devoured her. These goddamn Marines." Right? No. So off come the glasses because I'm an old bastard, and let's have a look at these reviews. So, an issue with this is you've got to kind of mine through a lot of ones that are just like 4 stars, all caps. You can't handle the truth! 4 exclamation marks. But we'll get ones like, he was digging in him. If you know, you know. Genius Chungus. I have no idea the meaning of that. Well, I mean, roughly the meaning of it, but I don't get I don't get who he's digging in. So I guess I don't know. That's 4 stars.
If I had to guess, it would be Tom Cruise and Kevin Bacon, right?
I guess so, yeah. Tom Cruise.
You're a lousy fucking softball player, Jack.
Tom Cruise delivers the courtroom passion of a man who thinks an extraterrestrial ruler named Xenu brought billions of people to Earth and killed them with hydrogen bombs, and now their souls attached to people and cause them distress. 4.5 stars here. I love it when it's like 4.5 stars. It's like, what more could it have done? Rolling into the courtroom with the 2 schnooks like they're the letters in Miracle on 34th. I love that. Yeah. I don't for 1 second buy that Jack Nicholson's character would actually decide to blurt out the truth in court, but otherwise a great watch. Disagree, I think he absolutely would. I think he thought he was totally unassailable at that point. Like I said, the man's like the walking, talking physical embodiment of the Navy SEAL copy pasta. You know?
Yeah, that's a contempt for that room.
Yeah, total contempt for everyone. He's high on his own supply. He's absolutely in love with himself. He thinks that he's the be-all and end-all. He thinks he's fucking King Louis, man. He's not King Louis. He's not even Prince Louis.
He thinks he's Lily Allen.
He thinks he's Lily Allen.
He thinks he's Rod Stewart. Yeah.
I'm stronger than the Colonel because I would never be rage-baited into getting myself arrested for murder and several other felonies. Absolutely. Basically a charisma competition between Cruise and Moore, and they're both dunking 3s on all counts. Also comes across as a Zoomer versus Boomer clash in some respects, which is interesting. It is interesting. It is Zoomer v Boomer. Aaron Sorkin character reaching through the TV to jerk off your neolib dad. I should go to jail because I forgot the #1 most important thing about the United States military: helping people.
Yeah.
Would have been a perfect movie if Tom Cruise and Demi Moore ended up together. Sad face.
No, I disagree.
Yeah, disagree with that one. 4 stars. Demi Moore, chronically underrated, not least because she's the only woman alive to have on-screen sexual chemistry with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Even his wife didn't.
Yeah, well, there you go. Nothing Tom Cruise does in this movie would be okay in a courtroom.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff here where he'd probably get like thrown out for being
absolutely
a bit of a dick.
And just one that kind of harkens back to the first ever notes in Peanut Gallery on No Way Out. Tom Cruise in white uniform. ... So yeah, it's a good mix of unhinged, horny, and just quite insightful reviews from our excellent friends, the users of Letterboxd, who make my job easy. Thank you.
Cool. That, I think, brings us to the end of another edition of Here and Present Dudes.
Pro or anti-CIA, sorry.
Oh, right, yeah. I mean, it depends.
How's that relevant? Really?
The only thing I can think of, right, is that this whole movie is based on an incident that took place at a problem base down in Guantanamo Bay, and you know, the only reason that that base is there and they got involved with Cuba in the first place is the Cold War.
Yeah.
And who had a big hand in all that?
Big CIA.
big Central Intelligence Agency. So, it all goes back to 62, doesn't it? So, it's a bit of a reach, but if it went either way, I think it'd go slightly in the ante. I don't know. They're not really involved, are they?
The closest thing it gets to intelligence is saying that Jessup's XO, the guy who disappeared and then domed himself, worked at counterintelligence with the Marines. So,
and he was really good. So he was like, he's gone. So I guess it says they're really good at training them, actually.
Yeah, so like you would have had some CIA kind of input. Who knows? Maybe he was down in the School of Americas at one point. Maybe he was with the death squads.
Yeah.
The assassins!
You could stretch the point a bit and make it to the movies distinctly against abuse of power.
That's true. And then from there you extrapolate naturally that it's probably against the CIA.
It's a coin flip, this one. I mean, between either anti-CIA or just entirely ambivalent on it. Because, I mean...
I guess it's against reshaping the narrative to suit your own ends and prove the truth.
Yeah.
So, that doesn't speak highly for this CIA.
I think this is one in the anti-CIA box.
Just because of like Aaron Sorkin's general outlook.
Yeah. So what's the tally at now? 12 episodes. Let's work out which one's the pro or anti.
So, No Way Out.
Yeah.
Anti.
Yeah.
Meteor. I can't remember what we said for that. Ambivalent, yeah. Hunt for Red October, pro.
Vehemently pro, yeah.
Vehemently pro, yeah. Op Center, they weren't involved.
Yeah, CIA wasn't involved in that film at all, bizarrely.
Weirdly. Striking Distance, not involved. God. War of the Worlds, not involved. Enemy of the State, pro, I think, just because they weren't the NSA.
Yeah, it was pro CIA by dint of being anti NSA.
And Gene Hackman's character being CIA.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was broad, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And God, what have we got? What was after that? We did Crimson Tide, which was ambivalent.
Yeah.
The last one we did was Unstoppable, ambivalent, and Frida's the Condor, which I think is anti.
It was anti-CIA, yeah.
So we're equals at the minute, and then we add on this as an anti, so it's 3-2, I think. Cool. So we'll keep track of that. What's the next movie we're going to do? I just had a pick, so it's one of you guys.
All right. We're going to go apeshit. We're going to go nuts. We are going to go for a film that I initially wanted to do as my pick right when we started this podcast off. We're going to go for the incredibly bonkers mid to late 2000s thriller that is Smoking Aces.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
Chris Pine, a cast of thousands. It's going to be nuts. I'm really excited. This film's crazy. I wanted to propose this for like the first film we did, but it's so long. There's so much stuff in it. It's mental. And I hope the board approves of my request.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe Carnahan's Smoking Aces. Also did Narc. Do you remember Narc?
Yeah, god damn.
Oh, bleak movie. Yeah, cool, awesome. Cool. So yeah, come back for episode 13 of Clear and Present Dudes. We'll be covering Smoking Aces. Yeah. If you'd like to pop a little like and subscribe and any kind of interaction whatsoever, that'd be great. Share it with your friends. Let people know if you're interested in it. That'd be awesome. I've been Mike. You can find us on Threads at MikeG2049. You can find the podcast on Instagram at Clear and Present Dudes. You can find the podcast itself on YouTube, Spotify, Castbox, anywhere you like. Rory?
Hi, yeah, so I'm Rory. You can find me on Twitter at Rory O'Toole. That's Romeo Uniform Alpha, Romeo India O'Toole. I'm also on Instagram on the same handle. I'm on Threads as well, which I'm going to try and use more because Twitter gives you more just gives you psychic damage when you look at it these days. So, yeah, I might be using threads a little bit more. Yeah.
Cool. Sanya?
Yeah, hi, I've been Sanya. I continue to be Sanya, and you can't find me on social media. Please don't send too many dual requests into our inbox. I don't really have time to fight all of you. Thank you.
Brilliant. Yeah, please. And if you've got any suggestions, anything you want to talk about, any correspondence, comments, or anything you want to do that you want to send to us in a more long form format, then you can email us at clearandpresentdudes@gmail.com. Otherwise, guys, we have been Clear and Present
Dude. Holy crap, we were almost there that time. Almost.
I apologize.